All right, we're live. Well, I got nothing to talk about. Well, I've got plenty to talk about. Yeah. So I kind of just wanted to do this and see if anybody would join. YouTube's fairly new for me. I guess my intention is to create awareness around online business. I think it's never been a more crucial time to be an entrepreneur. And I don't mean that from the realm of trying to sell you something. I do have things to sell, but if they're not for you, they're not for you. And I totally get that there'll probably be some people that jump in here and call me a shill or whatever, but I don't really give a shit what people think, to be honest with you. It's probably a character flaw. So I'm here in Bali. Got out of the US just in time. Originally from Virginia, spent the last 5 years in California. And now, I guess thanks to God and the universe, I get to work online from anywhere I want. And that feels cool. And, even better than that, I've been able to contribute to the lives of others. That feels great to me. I don't know if any of you guys have ever taken, I'm sure at least some of you guys have taken an Enneagram test, but essentially an Enneagram test kind of gives you an idea of what your personality is. And mine is being of service. My core value is love, not necessarily as a feeling, but as a core principle. So that used to make me, and still at times made me, a unrelenting people pleaser, always wanting to make people happy. And I'm thankful to have matured to a point where I can also love myself. And what's most important to me is to create freedom, to create a world that works for everyone. Sorry, I don't know why I keep looking up at random places. This is kind of new to me, so bear with me. Yeah, so I don't know how long I can talk, but I was hoping somebody would show up, and then we could have a chat. But if not, I'll just sip my Red Bull and talk to myself. So what else is thrilling for me? Bali is amazing. I love it here. It's a kind and compassionate place. I thought at some level I had developed, some patience, but nowhere is my patience on the level of the Indonesian people. I can say without a doubt that the rest of the world, specifically the US, could learn a lot from Indonesians. And I hope that if you watch this, you come here and hang out with me. We can do a little scooter gang or whatever. The food's amazing. The weather's great. I like it a little bit warm and humid, so that's heavily based on my bias. Yeah, so what else? I guess I could use this as kind of an introduction. I run a digital marketing agency. I'm an affiliate marketer. I run an entrepreneurial community that I just launched this year after years of imposter syndrome. I finally got it out there, and it's what I really want to do, which is teach people the same skills, knowledge, and opportunities that I got. I love that I get to live here, and there's an entire group of people doing this. They're out there, and I know if you end up on this video, you're either one of them or you've been trying to figure out how to become one of them. So I would love for you to have that. I would love for everybody to be able to, as my man Perry says, knock the boss out of your life. At one point, I worked at an egregious 9-to-5 job. I had to wear a suit. I had to cover up my tattoos. Sometimes they would call me in at fucking 9 p.m. I'd have to leave the bar and go to work. It was the worst. And I could never really understand like why, as a society, we created things this way. This doesn't make any sense to me. Like, why would you go work for somebody else when you can make just as much money or more or a lot more? Like, go get a job. Like, you have some sort of salary cap, right? Like, in the U.S., out of college, you're gonna make like 45,000. Maybe after putting yourself in egregious debt for going to college, and this is what you're told that is normal, right? And at the same time, raise your hand if you ever learned finance skills in school. I'm not talking college, I'm talking grade school, I'm talking, high school. When did they teach you to do taxes? Stupid. And again, I can only speak for the US, so that's heavily biased based on that, right? But it's silly. I view entrepreneurial education as a way around that, system. And I know that a lot of people are starting to see that. Another thing that I see coming down the line, and I've had extensive conversations about this, is, artificial intelligence is going to wreck the economy. It's going to be the future, and it's going to replace a lot of jobs. Nobody can beat AI at specialization. There are already tools coming out that will replace copywriters, that will replace media buyers. And these are companies that are backed by, people like Elon Musk. The only downside to Bali is the fucking mosquitoes. I'm not sure if I'm allowed to curse on YouTube, so we'll sort that out later. But yeah, what else? What else can we talk about? Yeah, AI is coming. I joke with my friend Kyle Maynard. You guys can look him up, kyle-maynard.com. He's a famous mountain climber, athlete, entrepreneur. Go to his Instagram, follow him, give him some love, tell him to come to Bali. If you guys could if anybody goes on his Instagram and messages him and tell him that Mike Vineyard comes to Bali, I will give you some free consulting or something. The first person that does it, I'll send like a $25 Venmo. Just message me saying that you watched this and that screenshot me that you messaged Kyle, and I'll send you $25. Don't post your Venmo here. Just like shoot me a message or something. What else? This is mostly like me just talking to myself, but I guess that's okay. Just sip my Red Bull. Oh yeah, another one of my favorite subjects is, I don't know how to say this without it sounding judgmental. I'll just say it like this. There's a lot of hate in the world right now, and I don't think that shit's gonna get anybody what they want. There's a great quote by Martin Luther King, and I'm gonna butcher this, but essentially, hate begets hate, violence begets violence. And we can see, especially like in the US, it's like, no, you guys are the worst. And they're like, no, you guys are the worst. But both sides are being hateful, and the system's completely effed up. It's completely corrupt, and it's been corrupt since the 1980s. And if you do a little bit of research, you can look at the reasons behind that. I'm not going to get into that. You guys can go do the research. If I had to choose a side, I'm choosing Bali, choosing people that choose freedom and love and happiness versus choosing to judge their fellow human beings, because it's not my place to judge, and I can only speak for myself. Not that we don't make judgments, not that I don't make judgments, because I'm a human being. And I think that's part of being a human being. We make judgments to keep ourselves safe. And a lot of people feel unsafe right now. It's a lot of challenges with this pandemic. I never thought I'd be alive for one of those, but here we are. Can knock that off the bucket list. And it's interesting because generally in times of like crisis, like people come together And, I remember when 9/11 happened, like people that came together and they created unity. They were strong, at least in the US. And it's a shame to see so many people like using hate and violence. And I don't just mean like physical violence, but the language of hate, right? Using hateful speech towards others, calling them names, dehumanizing them. And I see it on both sides. And in my humble opinion, we all want the same things. We want our families to be taken care of. We want our communities to be good. We want opportunities. We want to be able to, make ends meet. Good food, companionship. We want to be able to grow. And in the US specifically, I think both sides want the same thing. My friend Perry said it really eloquently that a divided house cannot prosper. And when I was in a college fraternity, we used this concept of like a triangle, right? Like outside forces make a triangle strong. Like if you have a 3-point triangle and there's like outside pressure, it reinforces itself at the edges. And if you have internal pressure on this triangle, it breaks. I can't do like a full triangle with my fingers, but hopefully you get the idea. So yeah, that's how I feel about politics. I guess it'll be interesting to see how things go. We're just at the beginning of 2021. It'll be nice to be able to look back at this as a barometer. Part of like creating this content is for myself to be able to look at my own growth, and hopefully to get some value out there. Not that I used to have a lot of challenges with thinking I was valuable at all. Fortunately, enough people have come into my life, and I've matured enough to see that frankly what I'm capable of. And I want you to have that too. I firmly believe that if I can do this shit, I'm dyslexic. I failed. I got held back in high school. I got terrible grades in high school. I have ADHD. I've had multiple businesses fail before finding success. Like if I can do this shit, if I can be here in Bali, like if I can impress anything on you, it's that you can do anything that anybody else can do. That you're more than capable of living and achieving your dreams, whatever that looks like. It doesn't have to be business. It could be being a fucking ice skater, or being the world's greatest unicyclist, or something. Whatever's in your heart. And furthermore, I would say that the world needs your unique and special gifts, and it can be scary to share those things. I know it was scary for me. So I never actually would have thought I would be ranting on a live for 15 minutes and not giving a shit if people watch it or judge me or whatever. One, because I'm in Bali, and two, because I'm good. I've got I've built up my resources, so there's not a lot that any hateful human being can do here, which feels good. Feels great. So what else? I guess nobody's coming to this. That's what happens when you only have 24 subscribers. You just get online and talk to yourself. But everybody's got to start somewhere, and this is that for me. My intention this year is to create as much value as I can, to share what I've learned, get it out there. So I'll be creating, a bunch of resources, some of them free, some of them paid. I did launch a mastermind this year for people that are looking to grow and scale a business online. I'm not even going to include the link in that like on here yet. I'm keeping it private to just a few people, so that they can prove out their results, and then happy to maybe do another live with them to share their experiences, because honestly, that's the only way anybody's going to believe the shit anyways, right? Nobody's going to believe a random stranger on the internet. I mean, you might, but I always believe that seeing like real results, seeing real, people's results is what matters most. I'm also going to release a jujitsu focused brand this year, and I got a couple other opportunities. Agency's going strong. I have a great team, and yeah, this will be fun to look back on. So I also, uh, and this is a random plug for my friend's course, but if you have a chance, go check out Alex Hooditan, Alex Hootie. He's got a program called Reset Normal. It's amazing. I've learned a lot from him just in the short time that I've been in Bali. And like part of what I've gotten from him is resetting, normalizing dating beautiful women. I used to be egregiously shy. Like I remember one of my first weeks in college, like sitting down at this table and these two girls sat down next to me and I physically couldn't speak to them. I just sat there like this. But I've had like multiple dates with beautiful women this week, and that feels really good to be able to go and do that. Um, so, all right. Well, I think this has gone on long enough. 16 minutes of me ranting is probably sufficient. Maybe I'll do more of these. We'll see how it goes in terms of engagement. If you actually make it this far, please leave me a comment so that I know that you either hated this or got some value out of it. If you think I'm a moron, whatever, and any sort of engagement's great. So if any of this vibe with you, please join our free Discord, free Facebook group. Shoot me a message. I'd love to be your friend. All right. On that note, I love you. Signing off from Bali. Gang signs. All right. Peace.